With my own growing interest in Overwatch as an esports, from a watching experience of course, I decided to dig down a little deeper and answer some questions I did not know the answer to myself. What is the deal with the Contenders Tournament? How does a league even work? And what does it take to be an Overwatch esports player? Well, let's start things off with a big guy first, as everything kinda revolves around it, the Overwatch League. I think for those of you who are interested in traditional sports, this concept will be rather easy to wrap your head around. For me, not so much. So if you are anything like me, I hope I can lay it out as simply as possible. Think of the Overwatch League as the ultimate goal if you are a professional player. Everything you do, starting from practicing your gameplay, climbing the ladder, trying to get your name out there for yourself, and making contacts with relevant people in the industry, the whole point is to get into the Overwatch League. Imagine you had a bunch of football teams from all over the world that compete throughout the year to get to participate in the finals to eventually be called the best team in the world. Football teams are usually associated with a country in the case of a World Cup, or a city in a more broad sense. Naturally, not everyone can simply join a league when the prize is not only the title of the best team in the world, but also a fairly significant prize money. So in order to make sure that only the right teams participate, there is a buy-in cost associated with joining. To my understanding, teams are usually hosted by the cities themselves and finance themselves through sponsorships. In the case of the Overwatch League, the buy-in fee is fairly significant and lies in the tens of millions of dollars, meaning only large-scale esports organizations are even interested in joining the league. I assume that a high buy-in fee comes with a certain level of trust sides of the sponsors, meaning they would not put that kind of money on the line if they were not convinced that their teams perform well. Essentially, that simply means that a bad team would not have the money to pay for the buy-in fee, and if players were remarkably talented while playing in lower tier teams, they would be acquired by a bigger organization. So as far as I could follow the explanations online, all of that is to make sure that the Overwatch League presents by far the absolute best players in the entire world. And that is important because the whole point of sponsoring a team as an esports organization or brand is to get your name out there. If a league had bad players participating, that will make for a worse viewing experience, less hype, subsequently less viewers, and by that, less eyeballs on the name of the sponsors, at least to my understanding. When it comes to tournaments along the lines of DreamHack, Apex, or Contenders, they're essentially a platform for aspiring talented players to show off their skills. Players participate in third-party tournaments to get experience, hone their skills, and make themselves known in the professional scene. It's essentially like a climb. There are stories of some players who were picked up by even higher tier teams simply because they impressed the right people on high-ranked ladder play, so it essentially all starts with competitive play in Overwatch. Anyone can make a team with their friends and start scrimming with other teams who did the same thing by organizing themselves through a variety of social platforms. Eventually, they will have the opportunity to join open third-party tournaments and hone their skills from there until they eventually make their way up to the relevant tournaments that we know, and possibly even getting picked up by a sponsor. The name Contenders was deliberately chosen because it is essentially the last chance for a team to be acquired by an esports organization before Season 1 of the Overwatch League. So it's essentially the last opportunity to show, hey, I am a contender to play with the best of the best. But other than that, there's nothing special about it. It's just a standard tournament in any other regard. One good example of a team that made it into the Overwatch League is Team EnVyUs, who will be representing Dallas. While it will feature the entire roster of the team, it obviously won't be called EnVyUs in the league, and they will be playing under the banner of Dalls Fuel. While many teams are yet to announce their official names for the league, we know that several renowned esports organizations have secured spots, including Cloud9, IMT, and NRG. To my knowledge, the only teams who are confirmed to be playing the league with the same roster as they are known for otherwise will be Envy, Misfits, and Immortals. Rogue, FNRG, FE, and Congarner are likely going to be split up between several other teams in the league. What's important to note is that winning the Contenders Tournament does not guarantee a spot in the Overwatch League. While they obviously want to be picked up by an organization as talent for the Overwatch League, ultimately they are contending for a prize pool, at least in the most direct sense of the tournament itself. While it is not a guaranteed ticket, Contenders still feeds talent into the league, similar to other bigger scale tournaments like Apex and the Overwatch Premier Series. Do not think of the Overwatch League as a tool to make the game more known as an esports, rather it is the end goal. This is where you want to end up eventually in your career as a professional Overwatch player. The biggest difference between the Overwatch League and any other tournaments you have seen so far is that they lack the level of curation that the league holds. In the most simple sense, it means that all these one-sided stomps we have seen in smaller tournaments happen because the best players in the world had no upper league to play in. The top tier platform does not exist yet, and the Overwatch League will be that platform for them. It is a months-long league that is supposed to start in December with a preseason and the regular season running from January to June, with the playoffs following after that. All of the games will be played on LAN in LA, but there are plans for teams traveling to other cities in the future. Now, there are a few things I could not find an answer for, like why the buy-in is so incredibly expensive, for example, but I do know that every player is going to get a contract and what I assume to be a reasonably fair salary. What's big about being part of the Overwatch League, let alone winning it, is that the teams that participate get the most attention and by that have great chances for landing individual sponsorships and the like, further supporting their careers. I could not find an official post confirming this, but when it comes to the benefit for their cities, their teams and their sponsors, apparently they make money off of their team-specific skins that will make their way into the game, next to the brand recognition during live tournaments, of course. Apparently something like this has never been done before, building an esports league from the ground up in this model of city-specific teams. The success of this project is hard to predict, but needless to say that a lot of people are scared that it will fail and that we'll suffer through a painful learning experience. Now, I really hope I did not get anything wrong in today's video. I tried to explain it to the best of my capabilities from everything I understood personally. A huge thank you and shout out to the competitive Overwatch subreddit where I've gotten a lot of the explanation from, with a special thanks to members Chuffy Bunny, Freak21345 and the YOLO God. Those posts have helped me out a good bit. Again, if I got anything wrong in this video, I apologize, and I'll be leaving some links in the description below leading to the Reddit posts I referenced, as well as some official sources related to the Overwatch League. I hope you're all gonna have yourself an amazing day. Don't forget to leave me a like on your way out if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you all next time.